Um, I've got something to share tonight, and I've struggled a lot with how to share it. I actually just filmed another like 32-minute video blog just before the video journal just before this. Um, and I think it was like it's a little bit too much for me to post. It's a little too raw, too sensitive. And yeah, it's just another reminder to me of like how much I have to learn in this game of like sharing myself on the internet. And it's very hard. It's very tricky. And I think honestly, what I'm sharing tonight is just another one of those like just a moment that Huma the mathematician doesn't really know what to do about it. Like my rational brain like does not like I don't have a playbook for this. I don't know how to handle this situation, and not even like a grand way. Like it's just like it's a little overwhelming. That's really what it means. That's what overwhelming to me means. Like rational brain is just like checks out for a second. It's like good luck. Like I don't really know like what I'm supposed to do. In reality, like it doesn't have to do much. There's not much to do in response to this situation. It's just like it's a lot of feelings, and it's like my rational brain maybe is going like, is there more to do? Should I do something? And then it's like, oh, but I have no fucking idea what to do. And like, yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot, and I think filming the last video really helped me unpack. I think I kind of spontaneously came to the words for like why it's a lot. And it makes a lot of sense to me now. I'm glad I filmed that. And I'm sharing now this abbreviated version of it. And it's like, all right, here's what happened. I got a compliment on my art today. And guys, I'm gonna get a little bit fiery for a sec. I have a very complicated relationship with the word art and the word artist. And they're two words that I don't feel like I deserve sometimes. And that should tell you something about like the messaging that I've let myself absorb. The shame and the judgment that I've let the world feed me about what those words mean and how they relate to me. And I almost don't feel like using them because I'm so fucking bitter about that. But look, there's nothing, yeah. And then I remember like, look, there's nothing to be bitter about. It's like, look, it's fine. It's what happens. It's what the way the world is. Like people shame and judge each other. Like Lord knows I've probably shamed and judged people. And like, I definitely have. Like, I hope not for their art, but I probably have. And like, definitely have. Like, but fuck. It took me so much even to create the public Instagram page and like to put the title artist on there. And I was like, nah, I'm not an artist. It's like, no, motherfucker. Anyone can be an artist if they say they're a fucking artist. One. Two, I am a fucking artist. I'm sharing myself very vulnerably and personally and like expressing myself through fashion and makeup and like video journals. Like this is I like if this isn't art, then like yeah, like I don't know what the fuck is. And I still don't feel like I deserve the word sometimes. And I think like that's half of what makes this overwhelming. It's just I got a compliment on my art from someone I really respect. That as a student of the game these past few months that I kind of ran across on Instagram, and I was like, this person is really cool. It's really striking. Their work has a deep spiritual component to it that really resonated with me, that I found in kind of some of their words. They originally the one that kind of inspired me to do some of these video journals. And I like their art a lot. I think their art is great. I also just think the way they go about their art and the way that they share themselves on these platforms that I'm trying to share myself on, there's just a lot for me to learn. And I've picked up a lot just from observing and thinking about the way they do things and the way they're able to be very vulnerable with themselves in a way where they still, which still maybe is like still an appropriate boundary for them and for the world, right? Where it's like not an overshare on their part, and also, yeah, either for the world's sake or for their own, right? Like where they're safe. And I don't know, I'm guessing they've probably had moments where they fucked it up, and like that's part of it too. But like, I guess all this suffice to say, this is a person and an artist who's been in this game a long time, like years and years. Like I can go back on their page and they've been posting shit for years and years, like more than 5 years, I want to say. Like they've been, yeah, and like I think they have a real craft to what they do. It's clear. And craft is like, it's not the same as like creativity. It's like the work. They've put in hours and hours. It's very evident. Hours and hours, years and years of work to get where they are. And there's a degree of refinement in that. That's probably what I'm seeing, and what I'm picking up on is like, I'm seeing a refined product after years and years that they've been doing this. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is so great. There's so much for me to pick up on here. And beyond even just honoring the force of their being and their spirit and the expression and the kind of the window into God, as everyone is a window into God, the window into God that they are, and the beauty with which they're vulnerably sharing the piece of God that they are. That being their art, like, or the core of their art. That is beautiful, as is anybody's. Because everybody is like, as a child of God, has a beautiful thing to share. But it's like, what separates them is like, oh, like the hours and years of work that they've done to manifest this, to share this with the world. Like her work, right? Like well, I can't speak tonight. The poet Khalil Gibran, probably butchering that name right now. He says like, work is your love manifested. It's like, this person's got a lot of love and a lot of things, and they've clearly worked so hard to manifest that in a very graceful way to the world. And they complimented me because I connected with them over Instagram today for the first time, where it's like, I reacted to a story of theirs. I just genuinely had something to say to one of the stories, and I swiped up and I said something. I asked them, I was like, they shared a quote, and I was like, did you write this, or is this like from a book? Like, it was beautiful. I even shared it with my mom today, and she was like, can you send me a screenshot of that? Like, that was really great. Like, and she even followed up. She was like, did you find out what book that was from? And so it was a genuine comment. I just swiped up, sent the DM, and I just didn't even, I was like, generally people just, it's like, this person's got thousands and thousands of followers. They got a busy life. Like, they're probably not going to respond. It's not what it's about. It's fine if they don't respond. But she did. She responded. And she followed me back. My public account, which has like 70 followers. And I just thanked her. I was like, thanks for the telling me the book, and appreciate the follow. It's just like, yeah. And she wrote back, and she was like, of course. Something like, I love your makeup looks. And I was like, motherfuck, like, she looked in my posts. And she's literally complimenting my art, which, by the way, I poured my fucking heart and soul and brain and body into. I did. That's like 4 months of my agony, and in some ways a lifetime of agony into these posts, right? And they mean so fucking much to me. And those makeup looks, each one of those, right? Like, those were so hard for me. Emotionally, those are so hard for me to do and then share. And they were beautiful moments for me. Some of my first times putting on makeup, being confident enough to share it with the world. And even to share with myself, to let myself look at my own face and take it seriously. Like, there was big moments for me. Those pictures, those posts mean a lot. And so the weight of anyone complimenting them is a lot. And then the weight of this person who's like, again, as I'll say, like as a student of the game, they're someone who's taught me a lot just by observing them. They haven't ever directly addressed me until today in this exchange of DMs. And it's just, yeah, it's like, it means so much to get a compliment from them. And it feels overwhelming of like, and again, like, okay, like another thing that reminds me like, hey, like claim the title fucking artist. I am one. 2, I think when I unpacked in the last video, when I got here, there was it's kind of eye-opening. It was like the business that I'm getting myself into. It's very intense. It's such an intense game, artistry, and realizing and sharing yourself on the internet. But I think it's kind of like any art too, like music. It's so fucking intense. And what's so intense about it is if you're doing it the way I think a lot of artists do, and certainly the way that I'm trying to approach it, it's like you just pour your absolute goddamn heart and soul, your deepest suffering, pain, joy, love, agony, vice, virtue, all of it. You just dump it into some vessel, a photo, a poem, a song, and then you share it. And when you share it, you try to share it kind of as the point we all just assume as broadly as fucking possible. And now I'm learning it's actually not exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to find the audience that it's meant for, which could be a small audience depending on the piece of art. Like this journal is not meant to be watched by many people. I do not want this journal to be watched by many people. I want it to be watched by the people that are supposed to fucking watch it. And nobody else, by the way. Like, I'm not going to advertise this on my Instagram. It's like, if you're going to seek it out, like, come seek it out. But like, this is personal enough to me that like, I'm not going to shove it down your throat, because if you don't want to watch it, I don't fucking want you to watch it. It would be too painful for me. It's like, get the fuck out of here. If you don't want to be here, like literally get the fuck out of here. And you just pour yourself, artists just pour themselves into these vessels, whatever their medium is. And then they share that. And then the world just takes it. And a lot of people just treat the art, and it certainly is, and it's just like, as you should, like, not everyone has everyone can go around experiencing art, and you can't experience every piece of art and experience the full weight, the emotional weight that the artist put into it. Like, if you did, you would just be like crushed and overwhelmed all the time. You'd just be walking around either with the biggest smile or the most insane fury, or probably just tears pouring down your face, because like that's what was put into the songs and into the pictures and into the poems. And it's like, yeah, if you had to experience the full weight of that in all moments, like you wouldn't even be able to consume art. You would just be an emotional wreck. So it's good that people don't receive the full weight of your what you put into your art all the time. But like, they receive a lot. And it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm realizing, it's like, why do I feel so overwhelmed in a way by the fact that this artist reached out to me, or like responded to me, and then I'm having a direct message exchange with them? It's like, we have a relationship, a parasocial one, an artist to consumer of the art one, where I've consumed a lot of her being extremely fucking vulnerable, which fucking bless her heart and soul for doing that. I've gotten so much from it, and so much love to her for doing that. But like, wow, it leaves me in this weird place of like, she says this in her video. She's like, look, like, she'll say at the end, she's like, I love you guys. And I remember I posted this on my Instagram story. I was like, I kind of get what artists mean when they say that now. And what I'm about to say is like, look, like, in some very real, very spiritual sense, this woman and I love each other. We have love for each other. Not a romantic love, not like that. And it's not an intense, like, wow, we need to meet up in person and like spend a bunch of time together love. But we have love for each other. Perhaps a very intense love, actually. The amount of contact that we need to have is actually not proportional to the amount of time, or the intensity of the love is not proportional to the quantity or proximity of like our physical presences. And yeah, I think now that we're having a moment of contact that's kind of beyond the norm of the platform, where I'm not just liking her pictures or watching her videos, but it's like she's speaking words that are just meant for me, like in a direct message. And then part of my brain's just like, what the fuck do I do with this? Like my brain is looking at it and going like, I've received so much from this person. They're now acknowledging and being like, has now received something from me because they've looked at my face and my makeup and my looks, and like, you know, they'll see more because they're following me. And like, we've had this intense exchange. We've had a very intense exchange of each other. Because as I said, those posts were super vulnerable to me, and she's looked at them. And her posts are super vulnerable to her, and I've looked at those. And now I'm like, but what does that mean? And it might not mean, and it really shouldn't necessarily mean that like there needs to be we need to direct message more, or we need to see each other ever, or like, you know, but it's like kind of my brain is kind of wrapping around like, what does it mean that I can exchange so much with a person? That we can have so much love for each other in this sense. And that it doesn't actually have to mean any more embodied proximity, whether it's just like direct communication, you know, DMs, meeting up ever in person. Like, it really doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't have to go anywhere from here. And maybe it really shouldn't go anywhere from here. Like, it's just weird. It's weird because like no other relationships that I've had are like this. This is like a new thing, right, to me. Where other relationships, like if you have other relationships, sorry, I need to enunciate my words. I'm getting heated about this. Other relationships, like if you connect with somebody, you spend more time with them to a degree. And this is like kind of the antithesis. This is like, I have a strong connection, and it's actually probably best if we don't have a lot of contact. Like, we should be careful. I should be very careful about initiating more contact. Because like we both got our own lives, and it can get weird. It's like, and like we're both sharing ourselves with a lot of people, and we can't take the time and space. It would be very overwhelming to try to like make each connection and each time that like we liked each other's art an intense thing. Like, we just wouldn't be able to do it. It wouldn't be sustainable. But yeah, I think my brain's just kind of wrapping my head around like what this means, and how two people can love each other so much, how there can be such a spiritual exchange, really, such a spiritual exchange between two people with zero physical contact and zero need for any physical contact or direct communication. And now if you made it this far, I'm going to give you the gift. I'm going to show you a picture of who this person is. And if you've been following me, you'll know what this means to me. You'll know how much this compliment means to me. You'll know how much this person has inspired me, because I've probably shared it on my Instagram at points. And yeah, like, yeah, I think you'll get some of the weight. And then I'm just going to sign off, because like I don't really have anything to say after that. So I'm going to just take a deep breath, and then I'll show you the picture and I'll go.